Good morning and welcome to Chris & Co, the show looking at what affects business in Kent. With me, Chris Price. Joining me this week are Norman Wilkinson, owner of Ghengis Fireworks in Chatham, and Rob Schroeder, owner of Kingswood Christmas Trees in Maidstone. We'll be discussing why shops are stocking Halloween and Christmas themed products earlier and earlier to adapt to changing demand, and whether this is good or bad for business in the long run. First though, we're looking at retailers who throw all their eggs in one basket to sell fireworks for fireworks night, trees for Christmas, or, as in the case of the farmer in our forthcoming report, growing pumpkins for Halloween. The average UK home will spend £33 this year on costumes, decorations and other goods related to the season of all things ghoulish and ghastly. But is a festival-focused business a good model? Adam Devaney went to find out.
Celebrating Halloween would be sacrilege without a freshly carved pumpkin, but for the rest of the year they disappear into obscurity. I went to Belluncle Farm in Hoo, run by Mark Batchelor and his wife Verity, who open up their farm to visitors so they can pick pumpkins during the season.
The shop ones are all very uniform, aren't they? Whereas these are much bigger, and you get the smaller ones and you get the coloured ones, and we do the squashes, you can eat nearly everything we grow. So we try and encourage people to go and try them.
It may not surprise you to know that Britain has become a Halloween-crazed nation. During the season in 2014, we spent £240 million. Then that rose to £300 million in 2015. This rise has meant that the farm has had to buy in an army of wheelbarrows after a steep rise in visitors from a few hundred to 50,000 last year. Although pumpkins have given the farm more independence, their market period is extremely limited.
We basically have a 3-week window. 3-week window to sell a pumpkin. After the 31st of October, you can't sell a pumpkin. You could probably give them away, but you can't really sell them. So everything is based around Halloween. If it doesn't work up to Halloween, it'll have a major impact because, you know, if you like the phrase, don't put all your eggs in one basket, we sort of have for Halloween. But we do grow some squashes which we can, if they haven't gone, we can sell those to other wholesalers through the markets. We can find avenues to move those. It's just the pumpkins are very difficult.
Although the farm has fields of other vegetation, including artichoke, that it can sell throughout the year to survive, the bulk comes from pumpkins, meaning that hopefully by November these fields will be empty. Adam Devaney reporting for KMTV.
All right, gents, so Mark Batchelor in that report there says he has about 3 weeks to sell his pumpkins. You work in the Christmas tree industry, Rob, and Norman in the fireworks section. So do you guys have a short period to sell your goods in as well?
Well, we do, certainly on the retail side. We start getting really busy the last weekend in November, and then it tails off about a week before Christmas. We do some trees wholesale, but yeah, people are getting earlier, and strangely, industry experts tell me that people are sort of getting their tree early and then taking it down Boxing Day rather than on the 12th night. They have the tree early, get Christmas over, get rid of the tree. So yes, that is happening, yeah.
And it's a short time period for you as well, Norman?
Yes, the main season for the fireworks is 15th of October through until the 10th of November, and then a little window 26th of December through to the 31st. But we're quite lucky, we sell fireworks all year round, but the majority of our business is done in just over a 3-week window.
So when you have such a short window to sell your primary products, can you do anything to try and mitigate or to try and make the product a little bit less so focused on that crucial 3-4 week period?
With Christmas trees, there's not a lot you can do, but two important developments over the last 10-15 years have been the change from the traditional Norway spruce, which had a bit of a reputation for losing its needles, to the Norman fir, the so-called non-drop Christmas tree. So cutting it earlier and putting it up earlier doesn't hurt. And there's now a bigger range of water-holding stands available, which are essential, and then the tree will survive from the end of November through to Christmas. Sure. So that's what we've been doing.
Fireworks-wise, you say you sell them all years?
We do, yes. We sell all year round, and we do a lot of firework displays around the country. But the main focus, the government have it set 15th of October through to the 10th of November, and that's when your temporary stores open up. and that's when your supermarkets and corner shops are allowed to sell as well. So we're very lucky that Medway Council give us an all year round licence. So it works well for us.
What do you do if you're sick during your busiest periods?
Well, just drafting extra staff and having spares. I've been very fortunate, but 2 or 3 years ago I did have a minor heart procedure in the middle of it, and my guys were a bit anxious, but they managed. When it comes to the crunch, people join in and take over.
Yeah. I'm very lucky also. A few years ago I hurt my back badly, but I was very lucky. I have a great team around me, and we all pull together. We do long hours, long days, but we work it in just to a short period of time, and we have a great laugh about it.
What happens if, though, you do have a bad season? If for one reason or another, say, demand for fireworks isn't as big? I can't imagine there isn't that much demand for Christmas, but maybe if for some reason, real trees are going out of fashion for some reason one year, have you ever had to deal with a really tough season?
Well, the worst one in recent years, of course, when we had the heavy snow about 5 years ago, and we were snow ploughing the local roads, and every year, regardless if it's going to be a cold winter, I buy a ton of salt already, so we were salting the local roads and just about got away with it. But it is a worry, but we don't seem to have had the snow in recent years.
And for us, the only thing that stops us is Mother Nature and rain. When it's raining, people tend not to buy fireworks. If it's snowing, it's fine, it looks amazing in the snow. And 1 year, about 7 years ago, I believe we had torrential rains, and it was the worst year we ever had. But that's life, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Norman, you import a lot of your products from China?
Yes, correct.
So presumably the vote to leave the European Union in the summer has had some effect on the prices that you're paying for goods. How's that affecting the business?
We place our order very early on in the year, any time between January and March. When I placed my order this year, it was at $1.52, the exchange rate, and today I believe it's around about $1.21. So, it makes a massive difference. And in time to come, this year we placed the order already, so we swallow all the difference in prices up. But come next year, we won't be able to do that. So, like every company out there that imports, they're all going to struggle with the dollar rate unless it goes back up.
Yeah, sure. Is there anything that you're doing to try and deal with that eventual problem?
We negotiate with the supplying factories and everything else, but you can only do so much. You have shipping costs. The difference between shipping a normal product and shipping fireworks is vast. A normal product is around about $1,800 for a 40-foot high cube. Fireworks, it's around about $9,000.
And Rob, you grow your own trees and you're holding in around Maidstone, so presumably this has had a quite different impact.
We're in a lot better position because they're homegrown, so the exchange rate doesn't affect it. And there's a slight benefit which we won't obviously be taking advantage of, but trees that are imported will cost more. We're about 50% self-sufficient in homegrown trees. So prices this year will be the same for everybody, I think. So
are you anticipating maybe a slight better year next year if the
slightly firmer market? Yeah. And in the Christmas Tree Growers Association, we're striving to increase British production, so we're not reliant on the foreign imports.
Sure, brilliant. But both of you, thank you very much for your input on that one. Moving on now, we're taking a look at a high street phenomenon which is welcomed by some and makes others furious. Each year, shops seem to put their Christmas signage and products into stores earlier and earlier. Last month, we ran a story about Co-op and Asda stocking mince pies with sell-by dates 2 months before Christmas Day. While some consider the early stocks a handy way to get organised, others think it's gnawing away at the sanctity of the festive season. And it's not just Christmas products too, with Easter, Halloween and just about every other event on the calendar affected. Our reporter Duarte Diaz went to Chatham High Street to find out why.
With the summer gone, it's time for the shops to prepare their stock for Britain's favourite scary season.
So we're coming up to Halloween, which means that you can get your spooky costume just about anywhere. But why is it that we're also seeing Christmas products so early?
Purely because it's cards, it's a lead up to Christmas. You know, a lot of the older generation like to get in nice and early because they don't like coming out in all the Christmas crowds. And obviously after September with the schools going back, there's nothing else really, there's no major events. Halloween, we kind of bypass.
But in reality, it all comes down to the customers. What do they think?
Me personally, no, I tend to leave it a bit later, but purely for my own thoughts, but no reason for it.
I don't think they should sell it till about a fortnight before Christmas because there's no decorations up. And where's the Christmas festive season?
Whether or not you shop for your Christmas decorations in October, you will certainly be seeing more of these for a while. Dwight Diaz for KMTV.
So Rob, you grow your Christmas trees at your farm in Maidstone. Are you noticing a greater demand for your trees earlier in the year?
Yeah, we are. People can't wait. It's such an exciting time for children and families, and I think it's a bit of a result of everything else being stocked earlier, as you mentioned, mince pies and probably in the garden centres, the decorations are in August. People just can't wait. And we have, as I said, catered for that by turning over to the non-drop varieties of tree and the water holding stand, so we can cope with that. But people do seem to be buying earlier and finishing Christmas earlier. So.
And you run a shop, Norman. So are you noticing people in the fireworks side coming in earlier and trying to get hold of their fireworks earlier in the run up to that event?
Yes, we have more people coming into the shop earlier because we're open all year round. So that's a great thing. But and also a lot more mail order is done earlier because we ship fireworks all over the UK by specialist courier, and it does make a difference. Yes. With all the shops selling their stuff early as well.
Yeah, so it's interesting that although a lot of people consider this a high street phenomenon, how much is perhaps the internet having an impact? Are people getting more organised because they can sit at home and do a few clicks and get their stuff in early?
Very much so. We're instant gratification nation now, and by clicking a few buttons they can order their stuff online and we ship it out on a next working day delivery. We try our best to keep it all there and working well with the customer.
So Rob, when you are growing trees for a very intense part of the season, does it add pressure when people are then adding demand earlier and earlier?
No, we can start earlier. We're fairly flexible in that respect. We don't sell trees on the internet because we find that families do like it. It's an annual event coming in Tuesday, and we're increasingly catering for that. The Santa's on site, reindeer, we sell decorations and drinks and things. So we try and make it they tell me that people are looking for a retail experience in all aspects of buying these days. So we try and cater for that and make Christmas a special occasion. We've built a bigger car park, people stay longer, so that's how we go about it. And,
do you find that do you sympathise at all with the people who say, well, it's not Christmas time, we should be respecting that time of year, and likewise people who say, well, fireworks should be for one night of the year, I'm worried about letting my cat out or something like that? I don't know. Do you sympathise with people who say, no, come on, we should be respecting the sort of time frames of these events?
I think yes, it is all about respective and the festive season and everything else, but we all live such hectic lives today. We've got bills to pay, we work more hours and so on and so on. People shopping in supermarkets 24 hours a day because they're working long hours, and we do the same thing and we have to cater for that. So if they're sitting at 10 o'clock at night in front of their TV clicking a button ordering fireworks, we're there to provide a service for them.
So when you start preparing your stocks in for fireworks night, has the amount that you have ready changed from what it was 10 years ago, say?
Yes, we start looking at our importing around about January time. I normally fly out to China just before Chinese New Year, organise all my stock that we want then. We look at new products and then we start getting it classified. A lot more involved now because of the EU. We have to have CE classification by July the 4th, 2017, which makes a massive difference to the public. It also means that we still have to do some stuff with HSE to do with the British Standard, to be able to ship them around the UK and to be able to store them. So there's a lot more involved since the Brexit, and also because of the EU.
Have you noticed your business change over the last decade?
What we have, purely on the growing side, the EU have kindly removed approval for quite a lot of the chemicals and weed killers we use. There's been quite a lot of press coverage recently about glyphosate, the Roundup weed killer, which has just been granted an 18-month extension. But hopefully with Brexit, the British government will be able to keep that and possibly reinstate some of the other stuff we use. It has made growing harder, but we managed to cope with it somehow.
Sure, brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you both very much for coming in. Really enjoyed your company. That's it for the latest edition of Chris & Co, our show looking at the issues affecting business in Kent. You can keep up to date with all the county's latest business news at kentbusiness.co.uk, and you can follow us on Twitter at KentBusiness and join our Facebook pages and our LinkedIn page as well. That's it. Thanks very much for watching. Have a very good day. Bye-bye.